All right, let's go ahead and look at I can round decimals. So we're looking at rounding, we're looking at decimals. I can round decimals. All right, so rounding itself is an interesting concept to grasp. It becomes a little bit more tricky when you're talking about decimals, but so a number line is always great to look at. So let's go by groups of 10, and we'll look at hundreds. We have 20 hundredths. We'll go by groups of 10, we'll go to 30 hundredths. The midway point being 25 hundredths. And then we'll go by hundredths, so 21, 22, 23, 24. And 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 hundredths. They're all being hundredths. Okay, and let's rewrite these hundredths as tenths. So 2 tenths is equal to 20 hundredths. 30 hundredths is equal to 3 tenths. Okay, so we're going to give some examples about rounding. Before we do that, let's look at rounding up and rounding down. There's lots of rhymes that you know and you can hear that say round up, round down. So if you have a 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, you round down. We're going to talk about that in just a second. This does not, I'm going to leave a little bit of space because it does not include the halfway mark being 25. The round up does include that halfway mark. It goes all the way to 9. So this includes rounding up 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. All right, this is a great visual to see why you round down and why you round up. So let's look at the hundredths, but then we'll talk about rounding to the tenths place value. So let's use the decimals, 21 hundredths, then we use 24 hundredths, then we use 29 hundredths. Okay, and let's say we're rounding all of these to the nearest tenths place. So let's start with 21 hundredths. Let's look at the visual conceptual part and then we'll look at the procedure. So 21 hundredths, if I say to round this hundredth to the nearest tenth, I'm going to look at my hundredths and visually see, is 21 hundredths closer to 2 tenths or is 21 hundredths closer to 3 tenths? You can quickly see this distance is shorter than this distance. So I would round 21 hundredths to 2 tenths because it's closer. That's why you round down rather than rounding up. You're not taking away the 1, you're just rounding to the nearest place value given, this being tenths. Look at B, 24 hundredths. Let's find 24 hundredths. Again, it's in that round down zone. You can clearly see it's closer to 2 tenths rather than 3 tenths. 0 through 4, you round down. This is a 4, 24 hundredths, right? You're rounding to the nearest tenth, you would round down to 2 tenths. Last one, we're going to the other end of the spectrum. We have 29 hundredths. Rounding to the nearest tenth, you can see that it's much closer to 3 tenths rather than 2 tenths. If you were to round 29 hundredths to the nearest tenth, you would round up to 3 tenths. Now visually you could see why those answers were correct, but sometimes it can become impractical to draw a number line for every single time you round any decimal. So instead we come up with little rhymes and procedures to see why or how you round. So the little rhyme is if it's 5 or more, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, you raise the score or round up. If it's 4 or less, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, you let it rest. Find the place, look to the right. 5 or more, raise the score. It's not 5 or more, it's a 1. Fits into this category. 4 or less, let it rest. You don't do anything with it. It just becomes 2 tenths. 24 hundredths, again, look to the right. 5 or more, you add 1 more. Raise the score. It's a 4. Again, it falls into this category. 4 or less, you let it rest. It's 4 or less, so you just let it rest at 2. 29 hundredths, rounded to the nearest tenth. Look to the right, 5 or more, raise the score. It is a 9, so it falls into this green round up category. You add 1 more, raising the score, so it becomes 3 tenths. So the little rhyme helps you if you forget to look to the right, 5 or more, raise the score, 4 or less, let it rest. But this is a visual to see why you round up and why you round down. And that's it for decimals.